Hey everybody, my name's Riz and you're watching Riz Rat. I wanted to make a video on choices and ideas and this creative block that happens when you prioritize a good idea over everything else. Okay, so creatively, apparently it's good to give yourself like parameters to work within. So give yourself barriers, lines to draw within. Don't make it so like you could do anything because that gives you too much choice. And I was trying to think about that. And what is it about choice that really bungs us up? What is it about having too many options that make us unable to make any choice at all? Well, technically, you're still making a choice by not making a choice. You're choosing to not choose. But anyway, when we're coming up with an idea, and we can come up with any idea in the world, why would we ever pursue that initial idea that we thought of? If we could do anything and this idea comes up and maybe it's an okay idea, you don't want to see it through to the end because you could think of a better idea, right? Like there's always something else you could be doing, and that frustrates the crap out of me. Because there are some days that I just wish that I could make a choice, and I struggle with making a choice because I'm always haunted by my brain, and my brain is saying, I don't know, like, is that the best choice? Like, it's always seeking the optimal choice. We don't know where each choice will lead us. We're always trying to come up with like the strategy to get us to the optimal location, but the dang truth is, you can think, and on paper, one idea may be the absolute best choice. But in reality, it isn't. It's not the best choice. Some bad choice, seemingly terrible choice, was the best choice. So logic can only go so far. So I understand why you want parameters or constraints in for when you want to make something. If I have to make anything, or if I have to paint a picture, and every single color in the whole world is available to me, what color am I going to pick? Well, should I pick green? It could be green. Well, what about yellow? What if it was yellow? It might be nice yellow, right? But purple though. Purple. Well, how about the shade of purple specifically? What if this purple had a little bit extra red in it? Or what if it had a little more blue? Or what if it was just green, actually? I like green. So that's the problem. You can't choose the best thing. But at the same time, interestingly, when you choose parameters to work within, you end up doing the same thing. You end up making a choice that alienates you from all the possibilities that exist that might be better. And so sometimes it's even hard to freaking set parameters if you don't have them. Like if you don't have natural parameters, like if you're like an architect and you're building a house for a client, that client's going to have specific things that they want that you have to work within. So you have to make your vision fit something. But when you're making stuff on your own, or you're choosing things in life and there aren't any set parameters that exist, it means you have to set them. But by setting them, then you're still doing the thing that's kind of scary. Now I have to choose my parameters. I could have literally any parameters. So what do? Because all of this stuff sounds like a really perfect formula for not doing anything at all. And that's exactly what happens. It's why I never started a YouTube channel till now. It's why I never did a lot of things, because I always was thinking, I was looking for this perfect idea, the best idea, the optimal pathway, the optimal solution. Our brains crave to have everything figured out. The dang truth is that you can take some good guesses. You can maybe say, if I pet this cat, there's a high likelihood that he will claw me because he's displaying signs of aggression right now. And so I should not pet this cat. So some things you can kind of guess how it's going to go, but a lot of things you can't. And even still, that cat might relax at your touch. But maybe if you've learned some information, you've pet that cat 10 times and every time he takes a scratch at you, then, maybe things are a little bit different. But I don't really know what my point of this video is. I guess I wanted to just talk about how this freedom of choice can be crippling. And I think it's a problem my generation faces, the next generation is going to face. When you can be anybody in anything, how do you choose? So a lot of people don't know what they want to do. What do I want to do with my life? I don't know. There's a million options. And so it's like good to have choice. I don't have to become a miner or a wife or whatever. Like, what was a woman supposed to be? They weren't working in the mines, I'll tell you that. There are too many soft parts for that. Can't get up the hill proper. Can't pull up them wheelbarrows and them wagons. We ain't strong enough. So I don't have to do something I hate, and that's fantastic. That's wonderful. But this freedom of choice is crippling. And so what do we do about it? How do you set parameters when setting parameters is still choosing something? Should you text a friend and say, hey, give me a topic, give me a thing, give me whatever, like, and get them to set it? But then what's to say that you stick to what they say? Like, why would you stick with that when you could still do whatever you want? Once again, choice. And this is why probably a lot of us struggle with working for ourselves, setting our own schedules and following them when there's no one else keeping us accountable except ourselves. I think that's a big reason why we struggle. I think it's a big reason why we struggle with creativity. And so what can we do? How can I set parameters when setting parameters is a choice? I think it's helpful to understand at the end of the day that we just cannot predict the future with any sort of reasonable accuracy. We can just predict it maybe a little bit, but even then, not really. Your brain thinks it can, though. Every time your brain thinks it knows how a conversation's going to go, it thinks it knows how your day's going to go, but yet there are still surprises. That person didn't respond in the way you thought they were going to respond. That thing did not happen in the way that you thought it was going to happen. Maybe the likelihood was higher. Maybe we're just trying to play a game of chance. Maybe we're trying to think percentages. We're trying to think logically and mathematically about it. I don't think life works that way. I think there are too many factors playing. I don't know why I'm from the South all of a sudden. I don't think we can approach doing a lot of things with that logic. When it comes to being creative, when it comes to doing something like choosing a video idea, what can you do that you will actually do? Because if I set myself to make a video that's this grand, amazing idea that I actually don't have the capacity to finish because I only have a 24-hour time window to get it done, and I have to do it all by myself, and this and this and that, whatever, then it's not going to get done. So scratch that off. So like you start with these basic things, like what can I actually do? What am I motivated to do? What's not too complicated so it doesn't make it too difficult? You can add the complexities as you go on and as you build that work ethic and that your passion towards something grows and you work on it more and more, because I don't think you should ever start with complex ideas. They are deterrents for work. They just shut you down. And it's crazy that we have to think about all these things and do these things. Like, I just sometimes wish our brains just were more, I don't know, less complicated, or they were more like, I keep thinking simple. Like, not that I want my brain to be simple, but I want just to be able to have an intention and then execute the action. Like, why does it have to be so complicated? Why do I have to fucking make a set of conditions? Anyway, creative ideas are difficult, aren't they? Being creative is hard. So on top of all this, your brain also does this thing where, in the same way that it starts to try and predict the future and get all upset about, having so much choice and it's complicated and it's like, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to pick, because you're trying to pick the right thing. When you do think of an idea, the next thing that your brain does is shoots it down before you can actually have any follow through. So you can't actually do the thing where you just run through it in your mind and like envision like the outcome and decide then and there, like, oh yeah, it's worth doing or it's not doing. You actually have to try doing it. And that sucks because your brain's always trying to conserve energy. And I think that's why we don't like to make a choice the wrong choice, because it uses our energy and it could be a waste. Oh, okay, I figured it out. God damn, somebody needs to give me a Nobel Prize. Okay, so my solution then, since I just talked it out, sounds like you need to go against the thing in you that's trying to conserve energy all the time. If you get a dumb idea, work on it anyway. If it's your only idea, work on it. If you have a mediocre idea, it's your only idea, work on it. If you even have other ideas, still work on that mediocre idea, because you have no idea what's going to come from it at all. And I guess we must rebel against this thing in us that's trying to conserve all this energy all the time. We're always trying to conserve. We're always trying to do as little as possible and get the most done. How about we do the most possible and get the littlest done? How about we do the most, make bad videos, make bad things, whatever. At the end of the day, you need to remind yourself not making a choice because of analysis paralysis or whatever, having too many decisions is still a choice. And when you make that choice, you are choosing the death of creativity. You are choosing to not bring anything into this world. You are choosing to sit on your ass and not do something that you really could do and do well. Maybe the whole thing with ideas is just to understand that you got to do them anyway. And put whatever parameters in that you want, sure, but at the end of the day, like you just have to make a choice. Stop overthinking it. Stop trying to analyze. Stop trying to predict the future so much. Predict it a little bit. Use a little guidance. But then stuff where you're like, oh, this is probably going to be bad. Unless it's 100% sure this is going to be shit, take it, run with it, see where it goes. I think if you go and approach life with that attitude and you're like willing to put energy into stuff when your body wants to conserve it, I think you're just going to go further. I think you're going to do more. I think you're going to get to the places you want to go, and you're going to live the life that you actually want to live, because I don't think any of us really want to sit here and just consume all the time. I think we all have stuff that we want to bring out, and we have so many roadblocks and so many things that are in our brain that stop us from doing. And so it is up to us to figure out how to freaking defeat our brains, or at least work alongside it. And I think this is one thing to think about that might help. And if not, well, you watched my video, and thank you. I'm really happy that you did that. Subscribe if you like this and me, because I'm posting videos every day. So that's fun. Thanks for watching. You've been watching Rizrat, and I'll see you in the next one.